Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, and strategies and everything you need to build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle from your hustle. So today is Tuesday. The digital diva is in the house. She's ready. She's on standby. Get your pen, paper, anything that you need to take some really good notes because we're going to learn some really good things about digital marketing and social media management. So, without further ado, we want to say thank you for those watching live and on the replay. TJ, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of talking about marketing. I mean, things change, and we're here to talk about all the changes and all the things that you need to know. So, I titled this chat or talk or whatever you want to call the giant not microphone. It is a microphone. The giant megaphone. So, can anybody guess why I would say this is social media is a giant megaphone? Anybody know?
Because you get
Okay.
to stand on a street corner and um,
Yeah. You get a platform to say what you want to say, and I know everybody notices that everybody's talking, right? I mean, I can't be the only one that notices that there's a lot of chatter going on, and
lots of chatter.
a lot of talking, and that's why when I put on my I put on my Instagram a week ago or so that social media platforms are here for you to network, to broadcast your thoughts and ideas that will connect with the right audience. But people seem to think that, okay, I could just get up and, say what I just say anything off the cuff and that's going to work. And we're saying for business purposes, because we use social media for business purposes. There's lots of uses for social media, and you see it, entertainment, gossip, whatever the thing that's happening today, and you see things spread like wildfire. That's because social media is a giant megaphone, so you have to think of it like that. And I always say, we remember the early days, it was fun and light, and oh, here's my dog, here's my lunch, I went on vacation, and da 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 da, and then those things happen, and we find out a lot of it is fake. 90%, maybe
Yeah.
now, right? I mean, I'm just saying. So we gotta we have to move from those early wonderful days of when Twitter was great and people sharing, and you watch Game of Thrones or the Super Bowl or the finals, March Madness, whatever it was. We all got together on Twitter and all the other places, and oh, isn't that game great? Oh, that episode. What'd you think of that episode? Well, now we're in a place where there's misinformation, deep fakes. You can't trust anything that you see. I'm sorry. Cannot trust any video. I know there was a video that came out this week or something about the war, and I'm like, I don't trust that. I'm going to be honest. I don't trust that because I know what they can do to manipulate what's happening visually when, and I think I've said this before, that as humans, we got to the place where if we saw it, it was true. Remember those days? I'm going to bring up, thinking Rodney King, all of those things before we were connected. If we saw the video, that was the truth.
Right.
Now, when you see a video, what do you think?
I don't
You
know,
can't.
man.
I said deep fake. Because they have taken pictures of presidents and famous people and this and that and made their mouth move, and they said what they wanted to say, and to the human eye it's like, man, that's former President Barack Obama saying blah blah blah. Or I think it was Gayle King, George Clooney, and a couple other celebrities. They took their imagery, their video, some gummy vitamin or gummy something company that was selling a product, and made it seem like Gail was promoting this product. George Clooney, whoever, insert name here. So that's why I say that we're in the days where we're now in it's media. Broadcast media, you get to broadcast what you say, YouTube, user generated. Pick where you want to go and broadcast it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can we agree with that?
Yep. And
Okay.
shout out to Dr. Tachi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So where am I going with this giant megaphone thing? It's because, and I always try to tie it back into business, is that there's I found a new study. You know, I'm always finding a study or a report from Hootsuite, and let me see. Can I bring it up? The social media consumer report. Let me share it with you. We're
Mm.
gonna talk about it a little bit. Not a lot. I just was like, oh, that's interesting. And this is in PDF form, so I'm gonna see if I can get my reader to come up. That's the oh, I gotta go to Windows, it's not Chrome. All right. Let's see how this works. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, there we go. Okay. So can we see that?
Yes, you see it very well.
Okay. So and I'm gonna put the link in where you know this is not special to me. Anybody can download it from Hootsuite. I have to find the link where I got this from.
Mm.
So this is the social media consumer report, a definitive look at why people follow, engage, buy, and break up with brands on social media. Now, is this an important topic? I mean, I think it is.
I do too.
Because as a business owner, what do you want? You want people to buy. Well, where are they buying? Online. But how do
Mm-hmm.
they buy? So that's why I like the title, Why People Follow, Engage, Buy, and Break Up.
Mm.
Yeah. People can get mad, and you know, we know it. We see it. Get mad, and they're like, I don't want anything to do with that brand because it said something using the giant microphone, I keep saying microphone, megaphone, giant megaphone, and they're using it incorrectly. So I forgot how many pages in here. 38 pages. We're not gonna look at all 38. There was just a couple that I wanted to look at. So I'm sorry, I'm scrolling because I don't know. I rarely use this. And there's some good stuff in here. So what's in this report? 3 key themes: sins and virtues, what brands get wrong, how to get it right, what consumers believe about social media. 2, building a high value following, the relationship between followers and commercial intent, and how to get more valuable followers. We want that, right? Number 3, paid and earned versus shared. We talked about that. What type of media is most impactful at each stage of the buying journey? See, that's very important because you think, oh, well, I'll just run some ads and boom, I'll get sales, or boom, I'll get leads or customers to just fall out of the sky because I ran an ad. But there's a process within a process with everything, with paid, with earned media. You know what earned media is? That's when you get your business or brand gets a third party highlight, or they get shared by the media or user generated content and stuff. And shared is when someone connects with your content online and they automatically share it. That's one of the things. People are out there begging, please share, please this, please that. Well, they're not doing it, and you have to ask yourself why. Okay, so
Mm.
this is what's in the report, but we're not going to cover everything today. I just want to show you there is a chart. Let me see. Here we go. Brand sins.
Uh-oh.
Things brands do that turns customers off. And then this bar chart, they have a black bar that says the black bar is unfollow the percentage, and then the red bar is high. And then let me read this little thing on the bottom. What's worse is it beyond getting you merely hidden, these top 5 sins are actually far more likely to get you straight up unfollowed. Not a good look. When our survey also found there's a clear connection between followers and intent to purchase. More
Mm.
on that later. And there is definitely a difference between followers and are they going to buy. And we talked about that, the silent, I think we call it the silent something, we called it, where people see
Right.
your brand, connect with your content, but you don't know they're there, but all of a sudden, boom, you got a sale. And you're like, where did
Right.
this sale
Right.
come from? So that's what they're talking about. Followers and intent to purchase. Those two things do not equal each other. A lot of people have gotten tripped up. I'm going to sell t-shirts. online, or I'm going to whatever, because they're a celebrity or they built a following off of doing one thing, and now they want to pivot to selling you something, and you built up this. I've got like 100,000 followers, and you go, oh, those people are going to buy my thing that I'm selling, and then you put it up and there's crickets, because there's a disconnect between followers and people that buy. Followers are followers. Followers don't have to turn into customers where they buy. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Carlos is here. Okay, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
He says I have about a 1% ratio between followers and purchasers. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's look at this chart. Let me get back to it so I can, because I can't really see that. I need to see the original. Okay, so posting, these are the things brands do that turn customers off. Posting clickbait. Clickbait is misleading info to get the attention, and then once they get to get them in the door, and once they get in your house, it's a totally different thing. It's a haunted house instead of a fun house. So they're saying that 54% of the people that they surveyed, and let me go back and see if they have like who they talk to, and because that's always in here. Here we go. So they, in collaboration with Critical Truth, over a span of 2 weeks in December of 2023, we surveyed 6,026 people aged 18 to 64 from the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. And the respondents consisted of people who follow brands on social media and say social media has at least some influence on their purchases and decisions. Okay, so let me go back to the chart. So that's where they got this data from. So 54% of those people, this is the thing that, hey, I'm done with you. Once you do this, posting clickbait is the top one. So are we clear about what clickbait is? Misleading intentionally, they call it bait and switch. Here's a headline grabbing, attention grabbing thumbnail, a title that says you get X, but once you get through the door and look at the content or read look at the video, read the content, it's something totally different, because they want you to buy something. And affiliate marketers do this a lot. They do that a lot because they want you to click on the link and buy. They don't care how you get there. But there's a miscommunication, disconnect intentionally. Okay. The second one, well, actually not the second one. This is the one that's on the list. So posting repetitive content, 35% that says unfollow, 33% says hi. Now, that one I'm kind of iffy about. So let's come back to that. We'll go to the third one. Posting boring content does not appeal to me. 40% unfollow, 27% hide.
So Mark has an example of clickbait.
Yeah.
Find out how you can be $20,000 richer by listening to my podcast.
Yeah, okay. And then he puts a laughing emoji. Thank you, Mark. That's a good example. That's a good example. All of these people out here, 6 and 7 figure. I made $10,000 every month. This is how, those kind of things. And there are some genuine people out there who have created an online business and they do make that much money, but it's not everybody that's saying that they do it. Honestly, the ones that, if you follow through with that and they show you their monthly reports, like, this is what I made, these are my expenses, they're honest like that, you can trust those. Anybody that's not showing you any numbers, or even with showing you the numbers, remember those can be faked.
Yes,
because Photoshop is out there. But I usually, like, the people that I've been following for years, and I know that they started here and now they're making I've seen the progression, so I can trust their numbers. But anybody else is popping up Johnny come lately and like, oh, here's my, here's my, those things can be faked. There's always there should always be a journey of from 0 to 100 with those people. They shouldn't just pop up at 100. Like, oh, I'm balling, I'm this, I'm that. Like, yeah, okay. Show me day one. Carla says, I usually tell people that they can become 2 cents rich. I love that, Carlos. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so let's get back to this chart because there's some other things, I want to go through. So, um, the next one is posting inauthentic content.
Mhm.
I just mentioned that, right? About the early days of the internet, and Instagram was great and everything, and people were showing their vacations and they were at Bali and this and that, and come to find out a lot of that is fake, that they had like a a screen behind them, or they now with AI, you can take somebody else's real photo of Bali and stick yourself in there. Inauthentic content.
Mhm.
Now, there's people that would say, well, how are they going to find out? You think they find out. They find out. Somebody's going to say, hey, that picture looks familiar. And then they backtrack and do a reverse image search and find that image and go, oh, this is the person that took it like 3 years ago. How'd you get in it today? There's ways of tracking and following. The next one is provoking reactions to increase clicks and comments. 39% is an unfollow. That's like you're doing ties into the inauthentic, where you're doing things to get, you're poking the ant hill, and all the angry red ants are coming out to get you, because you're just poking it, going, well, I don't care if it's positive or negative, I just want a reaction. So you're just doing things just because. Again, inauthentic, clickbait, all of that stuff. That's 39% unfollow, 24% high. Excessively self-promoting, 34%. Now let's talk about this one a little bit, because I've seen people online. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to promote myself. You have to promote yourself, but there's like a line where you overly self-promote, and you've seen some, you'll know it. It's like a feeling. You'll see it like, wait a minute, that's too much. But as a business, as a brand, you do have to promote yourself, your business, because you have to be seen. You have to get exposure. You have to expose your brand, your business, to those who don't know.
Right.
So there's a line there. All right, so that one, 34% unfollow, 29% hide. Making generic or automated comments, 32%. Mm-hmm.
Well,
ChatGPT.
those are kind of like when I get information from mortgage lenders
Mm-hmm.
that they the company gave them a post to put out,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody in the company is putting the same post out.
Yes. And you could tell that they're generic, because there's no personalization there. It's a rubber stamp feeling. That's the best way I can put it. Now you can tell that's a rubber stamp, like, you write, in the back of the day, you should write a letter to the celebrity, and then you would get a letter back from Michael Jackson, whoever the celebrity was back in the day. You were so excited, but that was a rubber stamp. That person signed it, really, but you're excited. So that's what it is. You know this is inauthentic, because we're humans. Humans know how to talk to each other. A personal relationship or a personal conversation versus one that is like this, generic or automated. But there's gonna come a day when a generative AI is gonna come in, and it's gonna sound just like a human. You won't be able to tell. It's coming. I'm just sorry to say, but hopefully there'll be things in place to label. So that one, making generic or automated comments, is 32% unfollow. The next one, overusing memes or social trends. If you're all, I think it's a little bit like, you as a business or a brand, a little bit of memes, a little bit of trends is good, not a lot. It's like icing on a cake. You don't want too much icing, because there's all icing, and you're like, oh, that's too much sugar. I always think of this as the Steve Buscemi meme. I love that meme when he's like, I don't know what movie it is. It's from a movie, but he's like in a high school scene, and he's dressed up like a skateboarder or something. And he's obviously like 60 years old, like, hey kids, what's no, no. We see that. We see that. So you're overusing memes or social trends in order to be with the cool kids. Gen Z knows. They're like, no, no, dude, no, no, we don't vibe with you. Because we know. Because they have their own language, their own things, they have their own touch points. And every generation has had that. Where, you're on the outside because you didn't use, totally rad or cool or, word or whatever the thing is. It was always a language with each generation. So and if an older person out of another generation, an older one would come in and try to, hey kids, no, we know, no. So that's what it is. The overusing memes or social trends is 30% unfollow because it's an overuse of the meme, not that you use it. It's an overuse or you don't use it in the proper context. Like, okay, so I'll give you an example. Is it everybody knows what about cap, right? When kids say cap, you know what that means?
Oh, were you
Cap or no cap? Does anybody? Okay, I
okay?
figured that out.
Enlighten us.
So cap, lie. Instead of saying lie, they say cap.
Say
This is
cap.
Gen Z. They say cap. Now
See,
that may be going on the way out. Sorry, go ahead.
Cap in another era.
Cap.
Right. Cap in another area was a different connotation. Not a hat.
Oh.
You know how you were capping on somebody talking about their anyway, it's a 60s, 70s.
Okay. Yeah.
80s
But see how because I'm everywhere. I'm hanging out here and there. I'm looking at what is, and I always ask them, I'm like, what does that mean? And they'll tell me. So I was like, why am I seeing this word cap? What does it mean hat? They're like cap, no cap, no, it's lie. But why? And I'm thinking, why don't y'all just say lie? They don't want to say lie. They want to say cap because again, it's a gatekeeping thing. It's a inside joke. It's a you got to be a certain age to get it. They have other terms and things that they say, but that one got me because I was like, cap. That doesn't make any sense, but that's what they do. So there's a way you have to use it. You have to know how to use it, that word. And there's other things that they say. So there's another one called Big Back. I'm like, it's just crazy the way that they come up with things. So if you're on Instagram or you're someplace or TikTok and you hear these terms and they don't make sense to you, they know what it means. It's their language that they're using. So if you decide to use it as not being in that generation and you use it incorrectly, they're gonna be like, you're old. You're a boomer. Like you could be Gen X, but you're still. But to them, old is old. They don't say, well, you're a boomer. You're this. They're just like, you're old. They don't care. So that's one of the things about overusing memes or social trends. You can use them if you know how to apply it. It's like telling a joke. It's being a good comedian. They know how to apply a story and make it funny, and they know the process and everything. That's why you have good comedians and bad ones. So that's just one of the things. Ignoring negative or challenging comments. And I've gotten into some discussion with some of my clients about this. Because you're afraid. It's the first thing when you get a negative comment or something that, because here I am with my content and I'm saying this, and you're thinking again, megaphone, I'm saying what I gotta say, and you're gonna take it as is when the other side of that is they're going, okay, well, what about this or what about that? And you were like, but that's not part of the narrative. And then you get the negative or the pushback or the challenging comments and you don't know how to respond to it. So you delete them or ignore them or, okay, I'm just not going to deal with that. This has happened a lot with a lot of businesses, especially with Yelp or reviews or different things, and they don't know how to handle it. Now, the way to do that, and you see it's 28% is going to unfollow because if they're not in the back and forth conversation with like that person is coming negative and then you don't say they're watching, they're spectators. and they go, well, let me see how this business or this brand handles the negativity. And then they decide how they want to deal with you based on how you deal with that negative or challenging comment. Does everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay. So like not dealing with it is not making it go. That's not gonna make it go away. Deleting it is not gonna make it go away unless you can delete things that are really, really, really horrible. Like I'm not saying to leave up every like hate thing, troll thing. I'm saying someone just challenging. Like you say up, they say down. They're just the devil's advocate kind of thing. And you didn't expect that. You as the business or brand going, oh, everything's great because I want to talk about my business and I want to do this and I'm going to put this out. And here comes some negative Nelly. Right. Well, that's not great. Well, what about they throw a monkey in the wrench, or throw a wrench in a monkey, however that's said. So you always want to, if it's like a challenging comment or like you want to respond. Hey, negative. Hey, thanks for your response, and keep it moving. Or you have to say something because here we go. 28% is going to unfollow based on, and that's not even the person or the people that are making the negative content. Like I said, these are the spectators because everybody's watching the conversation, whether they're engaging in the conversation or not. Because a lot of people, it's called lurking. They look and they read the comments and they go, and they form an opinion. So that's what this part is here. So do you want to ignore negative? There's a line here also. I think negative as in it's just presenting another idea that doesn't fit what you're trying to put across. You can decide, do you want to engage? But if it's something hate speech, troll, and this and that, it's best to block or report or whatever. I'm not saying not to do that. But there's people that are going to challenge you, but it's not hate speech or any of that stuff, because there's levels to these. There's levels to comments, which is this can get really complicated.
So sounds like you're saying they might be disagreeing with you or your point of view.
Yes.
And not necessarily trolling.
Yes, it may just be a disagreement or another side that you didn't consider, because there's two sides. But you're so, as a business or brand, you're just like, oh, giant megaphone. I'm going to say something positive and they're just going to love my business. But you got to say, wait a minute, turn it around and say, well, wait a minute. What would somebody might say or respond to this? And can I handle it? Or what would I say to handle it, instead of just pulling down locking the door and pulling down the shutters and like, okay, they'll go away. Meanwhile, the crowd is out there building up. And the spectators are watching going, well, how you going to handle that? That kind of thing. It takes a little bit of bravery to be on social media, especially live streaming and video. Again, giant megaphone. What are you saying? You got to be able to take the positive and the negative. It's not going to all be positive. How are you going to deal with the negative? So that's what this one is about. The next one, trying too hard to entertain or gain attention. What could that be? Could that be all of those dancing reels and people, they don't, and I've seen the comments, I don't like dancing in reels, but I got to do it because everybody is dancing to get attention. I'm like, well, we can tell you don't like it, but you're doing it anyway. So you're trying too hard to entertain or gain attention in a way that doesn't fit. It doesn't fit you naturally. TikTok, remember everybody was like, oh, I don't be a dancing teenager. I was like, there's plenty of stuff that's not dancing teenagers. You don't have to do that. I there's a person I follow. I think he does Facebook ads, and I've been following him a long time. He talks about how to run your business Facebook ads, and he talked about, I believe last year he started on TikTok, and he was like, I don't know what to do. I know I'm not gonna dance. I'm just going. So he just started doing the videos with just his face and him talking about Facebook ads and this and that and the do's and don'ts, and putting captions and stuff. But he didn't dance. He didn't entertain. He was just the guy. But he was giving out information. So he showed. I think in this January he was talking about how he went from like 0 to whatever, and he said, I can't believe this. And he was like, I just put out videos. I just kept doing it. I didn't dance or all that stuff that Gen Z is doing. He didn't do that. He just was, I'm my business, I'm myself. Here I am presenting information, not being knowledgeable, providing value, and keep doing it. So he showed his progression. So you don't have to do the dancing reels. I always say, the what did I say? The dancing, the guy with all of the with the cymbals and and the drums and the monkey and this
The
one man
one-man
band.
band.
That's it. You don't have to do that because we can tell that that's not working. You don't like that. So it's always best to be yourself. So here, trying too hard to entertain or gain attention, 32% is on unfollow because you are online presenting yourself and you're not two-dimensional. You're three-dimensional. You're a person. We're three-dimensional. We're humans. We can see what comes across. That's why some actors are so great because they're like, they know they can talk to the camera and say whatever they want and become this other person. They know how to project that. If you're just a regular person, you're like, well, okay, this makes me uncomfortable, but I'm going to put on a smile. But we could see that because there's other cues that goes into it. All right. Everybody getting this so far? Is this good information to talk about?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, so the next one, not interacting with or responding to the community. That kind of goes up with the the comments, making generic or automated comments. I kind of see these two together. This not interacting with or responding to the community is an absolute, like, you don't respond to anything. Like, people are coming in, oh, I love your product, or I love your service, or I love you did this, or that. This is great. This is wonderful. Thank you. Blah 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 blah. And you just crickets. Again, people are coming in to see what you're saying about, you got your megaphone, and then you have people that are commenting, and then you have the outer level of people who don't comment, but they're watching the show. They're watching everything. They're watching you. They're watching the comments. They're watching how people talk. They're seeing if people are saying negative things after they've said something positive. All of those things come into play, and a lot of people don't see that. So not interacting with or responding to the community tells them, well, you're just here for a money grab. You're just here to sell me nothing. You're not here to interact with me or to find out what's really going on or what I really need. So unfollow. That's what happens here. The next one, posting low effort content, not trying hard enough. So low effort content. That's, I gotta post something. Let me throw up a quote that doesn't match anything. It's just I went to Google and give me the most famous quotes, and you put them up, and you might have gone to camera and used like the first template you saw, didn't change anything, just typed up some text because you gotta post something every day. And I'm like, no, you don't have to post everything every day. You got to post quality stuff. What's quality? Something that provides value, something that the audience wants to hear. Doesn't have to be every day. Now, there are people that do quotes, but they make relevant. It ties into a message. It's like, here's the quote, and let me tell you what I think about the quote, or let me tell you how this applies. There's a story here, not just here's a post. I did, check mark. I did what I was supposed to do today. It doesn't make any sense. I use ChatGPT to make a comment or a caption that doesn't make any sense, but I did it. So people see that. 29%. They say, oh, you can do better, and you can. So people see it. I wasn't checking the comments.
Dr. Tati was
Oh, they're talking. Okay. So does everybody get what the low effort content? Not trying hard enough? Because again, I said this before. We are in another level of social media use as in the world, because we started out, it was new and it was exciting, and we showed our lunch, and here's the dog, and I'm getting the mail. That was really exciting. Yay, so you go into the mailbox, and those kind of things you can't do anymore because it's just a natural evolution of growth of This is where we are right now as far as this journey of using social media going into media. That's why you have people that are making lots of money, or they're growth, or they're making a community because they figured out, hey, I gotta be not media, there's another word I forgot. I have to produce, and not a production of, I need a set and I need makeup artists. No, you have to say, okay, what's the begin? What do I want to say? Here's, you write it out, storyboard it, or what do and then you say, well, let me have this in the background. Let me say that. That's what I mean, like a production that you have to say, what am I going to do? I got to make an outline. Just make an outline. I want to say this. Well, what do I say? This, and this, and then the call to action and a nice image, and poof, post it, and you're gone. But that is effort. That's not low effort. Low effort content is like what we just said about the quotes. And you didn't even go into Canva. You just downloaded from Google or wherever you found, and you're like, well, this is good enough. And then you post it, and then you get nothing, or you get people unfollowing because they're like, why are you here? That is not providing any kind of value to me. I could have Googled that thing myself. I've seen that quote a million times. What are you saying about it? Again, giant megaphone. I keep wanting to say microphone.
And we want to shout out to Terrell Knox, who joined us this morning on Facebook. Hey, TK. Hey.
Hello, welcome. All right, so there's two more. Misusing slang. Again, that ties up into what I was saying earlier about, the cap, and then, all of the things that Gen Z say, or whatever the generation that you're not a part of, that is the most popular stuff that's going on. You're not using it properly. 30% are gonna unfollow, because, and especially if it's that generation that's their slang or what they say, and you're using it wrong. Steve Buscemi meme. I always bring up the Steve Buscemi meme. So that's where you got the 30% unfollow, and the 23. I keep leaving out the hide. So you see the hide is in red. That means they're hide. They hide their posts, or I don't want to see this more hide. And the people that are really unfollow, they're really committed, like unfollow, like boom, they go straight to unfollow. The last one, overusing emojis. But I thought we were supposed to be talking emojis. I thought, well, I got a siren going on. New York.
We couldn't hear it.
Oh, really? It was really loud to me. Cool. You couldn't hear it. All right. Overusing emoji, 18% unfollow. But look at that, 20 more are hiding. So that's not like a real thing that's going to turn people off, but it's there. So overusing emojis, what do we think about that one? It's like, and I remember we talked a while back that I saw a commercial about the two women in a car or something, and they were doing something about emojis, and we talked about it. I was like, oh, emoji marketing, but that kind of fell off, way off, because of overuse of emojis. So another part of this is, instead of giving out a sentiment, people are starting to just slap up an emoji. But see, here's the problem with that. Everybody doesn't understand what the emoji means. And the emoji means different things to different generations. Like we talked about, Gen Z has a problem with thumbs up.
They do.
That's an aggressive, negative thing to them. This.
It's all good. And we think that's A-okay.
The older generation is like, that means, yeah, good. They don't get, they're like, no, it's aggressive to them. That's just one that's coming off the top of my head. There's a couple others that Gen Z are like, okay, we can tell what generation you are if you use a certain emoji or you're misusing it. So there's a lot of these tie into each other as far as like the meanings, but these are some of the things from this Hootsuite consumer media, social media consumer report. So I thought this was like really a really good chart.
So the top two things that I'm seeing based on the chart, the top two things that people will unfollow you for or hide you for,
mm-hmm.
The top one being posting clickbait, they will
Yeah.
unfollow. And the
Mhm.
second thing, looking down here, that they're going
Posting.
to hide your posts
Yeah, posting
is
inauthentic content.
that
Mhm.
one, and posting repetitive
Pitiful
content.
content.
They just
Yeah.
like hide. Just I'm tired of y'all sending stuff like this.
Yes. Yes. Now see that now that's what I'm saying. I had an issue with that one because you're supposed, depending on the platform, like Instagram, you can repost things, but you need to like switch up the graphic. Because Instagram's not a platform where people are going, well, let me go back to your post from last year. That's too much scrolling. We ain't got time for that. It's most recent stuff on top. So that's what I'm saying with repetitive content. I'm like, okay, there's a way to do it to reuse content, but you got to switch it up with the graphic, with the image. Maybe you do one as a carousel, maybe you do one as a story, maybe you do one as a reel, but it's all the same content. You see, you switched up the visual part of it, but you can reuse the caption and just, judge it, you get the meat of the caption, but you might change a word or two and then say, okay, I might slap this on a reel. I might put this on a reel. Or I might take this caption and make it excuse me, make it a carousel. But it's the same content, repetitive content.
Right.
And there's a guy I follow on Instagram that he does this all the time. And he talks about it. I posted this. He said, I posted this last year. It got blah, 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 blah. I reposted now, change a little bit of something, the graphic or whatever. And he says, I do that all the time. He says, you guys are out here breaking your necks trying to, well, do content every day. He's like, no. You go back and look at your analytics and say, well, that post from whatever did well. Let me use it, but let me change the graphic or let me whatever. And sometimes he will just repost. He's like, hey, this is a repost from 2020, 2021, but it's still relevant today. Nobody's going, oh guy, oh dude, you why are you posting that old stuff? Nobody does that because the way Instagram works is that you post it today and there's a slot. It gets pushed down. Nobody's going back looking at your profile unless you're a stalker, looking at your post from 2 years ago. Not on Instagram. That's not how it works. It's relevant new content gets pushed to the top, and that's what people say. And I think we talked about, like, when people go to your profile, they're not gonna scroll past maybe 1, 2, 3 times and they're out. That's why you hear people say your Instagram profile, your bio, everything. Make sure that you're using keywords and you're making it optimized for search, because the things that people look at when they go to your profile, they need to instantly get a snapshot because it's visual. They instantly get a snapshot of who you are as a business or a brand. Okay, now if we're talking personal Instagram, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. But if you're there for a business or a brand, you need to make sure all your posts, when you go to your profile and you scroll a couple times, what does my profile say to somebody who doesn't know me at all? They look at the bio, they read what it says, they go, okay, and they look at the first, I think it's the first 9 squares. We talked about this before. I think it's like the first 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the first 9 to 12. They're not gonna go past a few. That's not what people do, because Instagram's not a search, even though there is an explorer. But we're not there to look at your profile and go, okay, let me look at everything. People are not doing that because we don't have the time or the inclination. Too long didn't read. That's the world we live in. Thank Gen Z. So, so that this was one of the charts that I was like, okay, let's talk about the things that the brand missteps, because you have a megaphone. So there's another one I want to show you real quick. I know we're running out of time. Let me bring. Is there any questions about that? Because I'm going to put the link for you. You can get that Hootsuite report. It's a 30, 40 pages. And take a look. There's more stuff, and we'll probably talk about more of it on a later date. Now there's another one that I want to show you. Let's look at this. This is from Marketing Charts. What do consumers want from brands on social media? So this is about brand missteps on social media that alienate consumers. Sometimes brands do annoying things on social media. And actually this is sort of like what they did was they took the Hootsuite data and they changed the visual on it. But it's kind of, it's basically the same. And I'm going to put this link in there because it has the link to the Hootsuite at the bottom. The Hootsuite PDF is at the bottom of this. So let me post that so you can look for yourselves. Okay, there we go. A lot of activity out in my street. All right, so that's the link for this, which brought me to the Hootsuite. Not Hoot, yeah, Hootsuite. Yeah, Hootsuite, because I saw HubSpot on the right. I'm like, is it Hootsuite or Sub? There's so many things popping up here. And let me get rid of this little guy here. So, this is about the things that are being done by brands, not by influencers, not by regular people. We're saying businesses and brands. And they've taken a look at it and going, well, okay, some of these things you don't want to do. You want to be careful about and just think about when you're making content. Just think about how is this working? What's going on? So let me bring. Oh, did I take it away? I meant to bring it. Sorry, I meant to bring it back. The chart. Yeah, I wanted to isolate the chart. So this one is the visuals are a little bit better. You can see the numbers on the right, the red and the gray, but it's basically the same. Posting clickbait, posting inauthentic content, posting repetitive content, posting boring content, provoking reaction to increase clicks and comments, excessively self-promoting, trying too hard to entertain or gain attention, making generic or automated comments, overusing memes or social trends, not interacting with or responding to the community, posting low effort content, not trying hard enough, misusing slang, ignoring negative or challenging comments, and overusing emojis, which is at the bottom. Now, is there any one of these that we want to go over like real quick, or are we good?
I think that because this is pretty much like the same. It's they got this information from Hootsuite, so
this is from the PDF that I was showing. So Marketing Charts, which is a website, they just decided, okay, we're going to make it more visual and then put it in order because the Hootsuite one was not in order with the top and the bottom. It was just, okay, I'm not sure how they decided to put together. So,
right, but it's still interesting what not to do on social media.
So this one, it shows you clearly at the top posting clickbait. Yep. And then the next one and the next one according to like the
numbers. Yeah, because they put
because these are in a different order around. And so this is and at the bottom, it says this is March 2024. Data source is Hootsuite. Based on a survey of more than 6,000, I think they said it was 6,026 adults ages 18 to 64 across the US, UK, Canada, and Australia who follow brands on social media and say social media has at least some influence on their purchase decisions. See, that's the most important part of this information. We could talk about it, but this is influence on purchase decisions, which was the most important thing that I wanted to bring up. Like, this is about making purchases. Again, you want to know, why are you on social media as a business or brand? To network, to use your megaphone, to gather in, people that may not know about your business or your brand, put them in this customer journey where they learn, know, like, and trust. And at the end of that trust is a purchase. And then you start the cycle again because you want to what? You want to keep them in your circle of influence. You might want to make a community, however you do that, but you want to constantly keep in touch with them. Why? Because they might want to buy again later. They want to tell their friends and family, trusted people that they love about you. When somebody says, "Hey, my mom's looking to sell a house or buy a house," who do you know? Friend, because I follow Friend. Why? Because I've seen her content where she's talked about being a real estate agent and talking and showing houses and what's the best this and the best neighborhood and the top 10 things you should know, the 5 things you should know, and this that because you're doing that, because you're giving out information, of being know, like, and trust, building up value. So somebody, they might see her content and go, "Well, I'm not buying a house or selling a house, but my coworker, my mom, a neighbor, a friend, somebody at church, da 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 da. Oh, I'm looking to move." And it comes up in conversation, or you're at the grocery store, you're in the line at Walmart, Target, whatever. It comes up.
Right.
And you go, "Hey, I follow Fran on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Go over there." And once they make that connection, all the stuff that you've laid out the meal, right? So they're coming to that. So that's what part of this is like, what makes people buy? What makes people want to purchase? What are the things that you may or may not be doing intentionally or unintentionally? And some of these things are not in the top of your head, and you have to know. Because otherwise you're in the dark. Like, okay, well, they said, put my stuff on social media. Well, nobody's buying. Or they said run an ad. Nobody's, clicking, doing the thing that I want them to do in the ad. They're not filling out the lead form. There's a lot of steps in between that. It's not just, well, I'll just post something on social media. So you see right there, it says low value, low intent content. You didn't make an effort. I'm not going, that's not the thing, the breadcrumb that gets me to come over. That's not the
Right.
thing that the squirrel. What is the squirrel like? Nuts and acorns. Put a piece of cheese. Well, they might. I don't know. But I'm just saying, put a piece of cheese or a piece of chop. They don't want that. Like, I don't want that. So they're ignoring it. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Mark says, Francine is mobbed again while in line at Target. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and to that, this example of real estate, because remember how I don't know if they still do it, probably do, but it used to be the real estate agent was on the bus or the bus bench or the billboard or the
Right.
direct mail, and you can still do those things. But I always say, where is everybody? Where is the attention? Social media, and it's free. And guess what? They don't charge you to post yet.
Not yet. And so you have to have your the thing that makes you valuable down pat. You need to know what to say.
Mhm.
And then you have to put it out there, because a lot of, just like you say, you still have to promote, but you have to, whatever you are talking about, you need to know what you're talking about and put
Mhm.
it out. Know what you're talking about and put it out.
Yeah. So I mean, a part of this, it leads back to purpose-driven marketing, which we'll talk about maybe next week. But that's coming up,
Mm,
like knowing your purpose. You have those are things. These are some things. There's some things that you have to know before you even pick up the megaphone. That giant megaphone is a dangerous thing. It can be a good thing, but it can be a dangerous thing. And you've seen that. I always say that it's just the social media a screwdriver. In the right hands, it builds a house. In the wrong hands, it's a weapon that can harm somebody. But you don't blame the screwdriver. The screwdriver purpose was made to what? To screw in a nail.
Screw. Yeah.
To build something, a cabinet, a house, or whatever. So that's what I always say. It's here. Social media is here. It's changing, evolving all the time. Chat GPT, generative AI is coming to, and it really has changed everything. It will continue to change everything, and we cannot put our heads in the sand and go wish it away. Have some letter signed to pause it for 6 months. That wasn't happening. I laughed. I was like, I'm sorry. No,
Look,
we're at
it
the
ramped
point.
up.
It ramped up.
It ramped up in the
Yeah.
6 months. Then all of a
If that
sudden, the lady the video came out, I was like, wow.
Yeah, because right now, OpenAI is getting ready to go to ChatGPT 5 and the Soros or Sora. I forgot what
Sora.
SORA. Sora.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be text to video. It's already text to audio. You can do that now. You could type something in and have any kind of voice you want. You can even clone your own voice to
Right.
make audio. Why wouldn't you think?
Gemini has that out right now. Would
Mm-hmm.
you like to clone? No, it was in video AI or something. Do you want to clone your voice? I was like,
Because
what?
I have 11 labs and I've done that. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I've done that. It's my voice is in there, and if I want to, you know what, I don't feel like sitting here and talking about a podcast, or I don't feel like, or I don't have the time, or whatever. I can just go there and type it, and boom, save the MP3 file, and I got something where I'm talking.
Okay, so I might have to use that because Apple has that on your phone where you can
Yes,
clone your voice.
yes, it's
So
going to be a part of Apple doing things. Yes,
and
yes.
I mean they used it so that for accessibility purposes.
Right. It's
Right.
for, yes. So see what I was just saying about the screwdriver. It's made for one purpose, but it will be used for many other things. So we're excited about this text to audio, but scam is gonna scam, hack is gonna hack, whoever is whatever, they're gonna use this for nefarious purposes. You cannot stop that. You're gonna have to put safeguards in place to stop it or notice it or gatekeep it or whatever. But there are people out there that mad that these things are coming out, going, it's going to take my job. Yes, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but this is your opportunity to go and learn this and use it in a way that's going to, that applies to something that you may have wanted to do for a long time and didn't know how to do it.
You're
AI is
gonna have
going
to
to help
learn a
you.
new job.
It's going to help you figure out how to do the thing that you're most passionate about. Because see, it's the think about that when the calculator came up and you can't use it in school and all that. What? You
All
gotta
right, you can give me a calculator. I
the
am not gonna sit
multiplication
there.
tables, they don't teach that to kids anymore. Why? Because they have a phone. Those are what I'm talking about are steps or things that are repetitive that we don't need to do. Then this ties into the self-driving car. It's not ready yet. I'm not saying it's perfect. It is not ready. I'm just saying that is the purpose of you get in the car. I got an hour commute. I don't have to drive. I can sit in the car, sit in the back, or however they have it set up, and I can do work for that hour.
Mm-hmm.
I might have a presentation when I get there. I can work on the presentation while the self-driving car is driving, but it's not there yet. I'm just saying that was the idea. Think of it as you're saving time, saving steps. I don't
Right.
have to prefab house. I don't have to build the you build the foundation and you stick the house on there. That's how they do them now, some of them, right? That's right.
Right.
They just
There's houses right now. People had a thing about what is it? Mobile homes or modular
yes,
homes.
yes.
Look, they got homes now. You push a button and it unfolds and pops
Wow.
up. I was like, okay, wait.
Wow.
And
See?
if we
That's
can keep people's little greedy hands out of it, it's a way to have housing for people that's affordable
yes.
now.
Yeah.
Um,
See,
but
there's a pathway. You got to look at it, and I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not saying that it's good.
no,
There's going to be a negative side to all of these things. All of these things. So that's why I said when they put out the letter about pausing AI or AI, yes, but the government is on it. I'm not saying they're perfect, but at least they're on it. They've got the commission with Vice President Harris, and they're talking to all of OpenAI and Microsoft. All those people are having conversations. At least the conversation is happening and they realize it, because our governments, some of the things falling through the cracks, but at least there's a conversation about it, and trying to get a handle on it. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to go through, or fortunately, we're gonna have to go through with it. And a lot of it, like I said at the beginning, I see a video now, can you trust it? Whereas, in saying the age 70s, 80s, whatever, you could trust video. It was video. It was videotape. There
Are
was
we
no
live
way.
or Memoret?
There was no way to deep fake that. But now we've gotten to the point where it's digital. You can have somebody talking like we're talking now, and you can come in and put somebody else's face on my face and Fran's face. You can come in and make the audio say whatever you want it to say. And that's a dangerous thing. We're in scary times. I agree with you. But we cannot put our heads in the sand. You got to learn and get ahead and say, how can I use this? Because I had a dream when I was a kid or younger. I wanted to do X, Y, Z. I got off track. But now, if it's going to take my job, maybe I need to figure out, okay, there might be a path to that thing that I wanted to do.
Right.
And it might sustain me in my life. Those are the kind of things, the attitude we got to have. We're
We've
the
always
both.
talked about we've always talked about having the ability to pivot.
Yes.
And AI is going to make you pivot.
Oh, it's going to make you. Like I said, we're riding in this boat. We're not driving it. We're not the captain. You're in the back seat. We're not driving. AI is driving. So, don't. I'm just saying, don't let it. Don't lose sleep over it. Just prepare. And that's why I talk about. We talk about marketing and different things here on Bizchicks. It's to prepare you. It's to prepare you and say, hey, look at this, look at that. These are some of the things you might need to look at and pay attention to. How do I apply it to my business or my brand? How do I incorporate this into my strategy? What are the things that I must pay attention to and know? And you come here and we talk about them every week.
And like every week, right here on Tuesday, you can become social media literate right here so that you can understand the market, understand how to put these things together. Because I know I started my Pinterest channel because of TJ.
Hey, I got to get back on mine. Now, when we're talking about things, I'm like, I'm with you guys. I'm falling, things are falling through the cracks. I'm like, okay, if I got time, I'll do a reel. I've been starting to do a little bit of reels. When I get time, I'm going to do some Pinterest stuff. We're not perfect. I'm just saying, at least get the account together and put it on your, okay, let me not devote so much time to this channel and that platform on social media, and let me move away and say, well, let me try this one and see what happens. And give it some time. You got to, and that's what I'm saying about the example I was saying with the Facebook ads guy that I've been following for a while on Facebook. I was on his mailing list. I look at his emails, and then all of a sudden he was like, I'm on TikTok. I'm like, what? Talking about Facebook ads? That's not exciting. But he's over there, guy wearing a cap, talking about Facebook, and he's going to attract who? Business owners. He's going to attract business owners, not the dancing teenagers, because they're not thinking about running Facebook ads. So, and he's very knowledgeable, like the deep advanced stuff. He knows all of that, and he talks about it on TikTok. I can't remember his name. I will put it in the comments if anybody's interested.
Well, we want to, TJ, thank you, because we are learning so many great things on Tuesdays. Tuesdays, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., you need to be right here because you have someone that you can know, like, and trust, that you can come here and ask questions, get answers, and you can reach out to TJ at terryjohnsononline.com and just, DM her everywhere.
/info.
Say again? /info.
Yeah.
/info. terryjohnsononline.com/info. You can follow her, ask her questions, and schedule a time to up your social media literacy, up your social media knowledge for your particular business, right? Not because there's so many voices out there where social media is concerned and people, one person saying that and whatever, but this lady here studies it to bring you things like we got this morning with all the stats about what the social media sends. Don't be doing this stuff, get people to unfollow you. So
I mean, because I'm looking. This is what how I spend some of my time looking at for studies, looking for information, current information, because there are lots of, like Fran said, there's lots of people out there saying, well, this is what you do, digital marketing. I'm like, and they're just regurgitating old stuff, and those people don't really care because that's a money grab. I'm like, I care about it. Like, well, how do we buy post-pandemic versus pre-pandemic? People thought we were going to go back after the pandemic was over, that we were going to go back to the way it was in 2018, 2019. I was like, no, we're on a different path. So it's uncharted waters. And then throw AI in the mix, which nobody saw. Well, we didn't see, living your life, you don't care, but tech people knew it was coming, and it came and it just imploded everything with marketing. So, and it will continue to do so. So we got to get used to it.
Right. Yes. So come on back here on Tuesdays, and then again on Fridays when all of the tech divas will be in the house talking the latest happening in the world of tech.
Get your updates for the week.
Right.
What happened in the week?
Prepared. Just so you're prepared. And then we got First Monday coming up, April the 1st.
Wow. And April already? Oh my God.
Right. March we're on the 20, we done slid through, and So April 1st is our First Monday event. If you're in Sacramento, we invite you to join us. We got a great speaker coming up. Her name is Francesca, and she'll be talking to us about some financial planning and things of that nature, some foundational stuff for your business. Come on out. And then we're going to see if we can go live with that too. We'll let you know how we can. See if we can make that go live. What else we got going on? That's
good. And, can we mention the Media Scope? Okay, are we supposed to mention not Media Scope, the Indie Soup Media? Is that
Indie Soup.
I know it's a soft launch, but IndieSoupMedia.tv.
Yes, and they went live. I was watching yesterday. It was really good. You can IndieSoupMedia.tv.
And I installed it on my old Roku TV, and it looks great. It looks wonderful.
I caught it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. See, now I gotta go watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, so I was watching the different presenters come through. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. You can turn it on, leave it on, and do some work in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, so shout out to Dr. Tachi for media, IndieSoupMedia.tv.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the comments while we close out.
Right. And then Mark has got the 4-minute mark on
the
YouTube.
4-minute mark.
And 4-minute mark is his podcast. Mark, all you gotta do is clone your voice and
no, we want Mark to, we want the real deal.
Mark says today's 4-minute mark is about addiction to drama. It is a real thing. It is a thing, Mark. I had a lady who told me, I'm at peace and I don't know what to do. She said this is not. She was kind of freaked out because there was nothing going on. So that we need to tune into that. Okay. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much. If you want to become a part of the Bizchicks community, you can do that too. You can go to bizchicks.net or you can text biz to 33777 and get in on this community. It doesn't cost you anything to do so. We just want to gather together, bringing you all of the information that you need to take the hassle out of your hustle. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, we do.
All righty then. Thank you so much for team. Thank you. And we will follow one another.
Any questions, reach me on Terry Johnson Online everywhere. I love answering questions.
And what would you like to know more about? Come on, let us know.
Yeah, let me know.
All righty. Talk to
Okay.
you soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Bye.
you.